Now, you're famous for really propagating and further developing an argument for the existence of God that actually goes back to medieval Islam philosophers.
Even earlier.
Even earlier. You call it the Kalam cosmological argument, which basically says everything that begins to exist has a cause. We now know the universe began to exist, therefore the universe must have had a cause. And of course, what kind of a cause could bring a universe into existence? Must be immaterial, must be eternal, must be powerful, must be smart. I mean, and you begin to see the qualities that reflect what the Bible tells us about God.
Yes.
That has interestingly come under attack in recent years for the first premise that whatever begins to exist has a cause. I think you probably thought that the big challenge would be on the second premise, which is that the universe began to exist, but that's pretty firmly established. The issue of things coming into existence without a cause is now kind of the popular counter-argument, isn't it?
Well, I think it's a recourse of desperation, frankly, Lee. As you said, when I wrote the Kalam cosmological argument back in 1979, I thought that the first premise, that whatever begins to exist has a cause, was virtually indisputable. Yeah. Nobody believes, for example, that a horse might just pop into existence out of nothing here in the auditorium, or a gas station, or an Eskimo village. Things that come into being have causes that bring them into being. It seemed to me that the controversial premise was the second one, that the universe began to exist. And so I adduced 4 lines of evidence in favor of that second premise, 2 lines of philosophical argument, and then 2 lines of scientific evidence. And what's happened, as you say, is that as that second premise has come to be more and more generally accepted, atheists have been backed into the corner of having to deny the first premise and to say that the universe just popped into being uncaused out of nothing.
It sounds silly when you say it.
Well, it's worse than magic. Yeah. When you think about it. It really is. In magic, when the magician pulls a rabbit out of the hat, at least you've got the magician. Right? But on atheism, the universe just popped into being uncaused out of absolutely nothing. So if you do not believe in magic, you should resist any kind of attempt to deny the argument by rejecting the first premise, because then you're believing something worse than magic.